Jay, one thing I've sort of got in my head and on my mind about you is you are a fresh face for high intensity training, a new generation. Do you get a sense of that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't seem that anybody within my age bracket, or even the community I'm in, whether it be the fitness community or the fitness culture, bodybuilding, fitness modeling, whatever, it doesn't seem that anybody in that community is interested or has come across an evidence-based style of exercise. It's the monkey see, monkey do, the blind leading the blind in the gym, and I feel that, you know, in terms of the high-intensity training community, it's starting to more or less ride on my shoulders in order to expose this information, and to a lot of people who are interested in health and fitness, but think that they need to devote a ridiculous amount of time to it.
And your message to those people would be?
My message is, in order to optimize health and fitness. I mean, health and fitness is extremely important. I mean, there's a ridiculous amount of evidence that shows it reverses the aging process. You're looking at an active, functional, more mobile life, a better, more efficient metabolism. The list goes on for not only the aesthetic or the external appearance aspect of fitness, but what's going on inside the changes. They're undeniable, and everybody should pursue it. And the fact of the matter is, it doesn't take that much time. It really doesn't. It takes effort, sure, effort while you're performing the exercises, while you're in the gym doing the protocol. But in terms of lifestyle change, it's pretty minimal. You want to adjust your diet a little bit. You want to eat how we know we should eat, which is relatively healthy, and you want to devote and take a little bit of time out of your busy week just to train a little bit. And the reality is that the amount of training you need to put in really isn't that high, as long as you do it correctly.
Do you think there's a lot of people out there who are frustrated by their workouts, frustrated by the results that they're getting from?
Yeah, I mean, lots of people. And as we spoke about earlier, I had a client who just came 2 weeks ago. He started with me, 19 years old, and he had been pouring a tremendous amount of time into training and nutrition, waking up at 4 a.m., running 7 miles, going to school, packing 6 meals with him, resistance training at night, repeating the process every single day. And there are a lot of these people out there that believe simply the more you put in, the more you'll get out. Unfortunately, that's kind of along the lines what Arnold Schwarzenegger taught everybody in the past, and unfortunately he became the face of bodybuilding since then, and that's what people tend to believe, but it's just simply not the truth.
Do you have a message to your Instagram followers?
Yeah, my message is whatever you see on Instagram in terms of fitness and training, take that with a grain of salt. Throw most of it out, and in most cases, do the opposite. So if you, as Gervais says, a lot of the times, if you see, you know, one of the best physiques or the most popular Instagram model out there, do exactly the opposite of what he's doing. If he's doing 10 sets, do the opposite, do 1. If he's training multiple times a week, train less. You know, and a lot of the times these Instagram personalities, the pictures are photoshopped, often, almost always not natural. And again, when you have this much popularity in this industry now, the cream is going to rise to the top. And the most genetically predisposed or genetically gifted people are going to become visible, and they're going to become popular. It's not that now we've got all these supplements and all these training programs, now all these different people are developing great physiques. No, it's just now there's a source of media where the people who have the genetic gifts can display their physique. So now we see more of them. That's simply just, that's the case.
Now you mentioned supplements, and you must be on a fair few yourself. Is there anything you particularly recommend people take?
I really don't recommend any supplements. For the most part, they seem to be a waste of money.
Right.
In terms of protein intake, a protein supplement can be useful if for one reason or another your lifestyle does not allow you to get adequate protein. Vegans, for instance, this might be good for them, or vegetarians, or somebody who simply works such a busy job they can't squeeze in a good lunch. A protein shake, a protein supplement is good for meeting adequate protein requirement. But again, the protein requirement is far less than what people traditionally believe. It's not 1 gram to 2 grams per pound of body weight. That's excessive. That over time can cause some kidney damage. So in terms of supplements, that's a useful one. But all the other things like amino acids, pre-workout, this pill, that pill, relatively useless. And the reason is they're showing these magnificent physiques, and the people who have these physiques are promoting these supplements. As a Muscle Tech sponsored athlete in the past, I was told to promote these supplements. I did not take any of it. I barely ate the protein bars. And but it was under the impression that I had the physique because I took these supplements. But the fact of the matter is, they simply, if they make a difference, it's so minute, it's almost unnoticeable. I've done, months of taking the supplements religiously, and then following that, did a few months not taking them at all. Absolutely no difference in terms of leanness, body composition, strength. It just seems to be, generally a waste of money. I mean, if people are spending all this money on these supplements, you're better off budgeting that money towards a good instructor or a good trainer to apply the stimulus better, because the stimulus is what's producing the adaptation, not the supplements. And all the things you're getting through the supplements, you're mostly going to get through food anyway. So everything you can get through supplements, you can get through just a well-adjusted diet.
Hold on. So if we start boiling all of this information that we're talking about down, it sounds like you're saying, if I train the J way, may say 30 minutes twice a week, I eat within the realm of my caloric requirements, so maybe 100 above, 100 below, somewhere in the ballpark. I rest, I sleep, lying down. Everything's going to be okay. I'm going to get as good a physique and optimize my health and fitness from just doing that.
Well, yeah, your own health and fitness and your own physique. But am I saying that if you do, as I say, you're going to look like me? Unfortunately, that's just not the way the world works. Like I said earlier, genetics play a very important role. If you follow the protocol and what I'm instructing, through the course, through the videos, you're going to optimize your own potential, which means it may be a very muscular, lean physique. It may not be so much. But again, what you're doing is you're still optimizing your own health and fitness and being the best that you can be aesthetically and physiologically. It may not be what you expect or what you desire, but keep in mind, a lot of that is skewed by what we see. So we imagine that any sort of resistance training is going to make us look like some of these physique models out there. But again, that's just simply not true, and it's just skewed the perception of what a good healthy physique is. It's not an over-muscled one. It's not an excessively lean one. It's somewhere in between. We're not, you don't want to be obese, but you don't want to be almost cachectic looking. You don't want to be that thin. You don't want to be that big. You want to be somewhere in the middle. Relatively lean for women. I would say around 16 to 24% body fat for men. 10 to 13, and that's a very healthy and attractive physique. And
attainable for most people as well, right?
Attainable by almost everybody. I mean, some people have a little further to go and a little more work to do, but for the most part, all hormonal imbalances and genetic predispositions aside, most people can attain that.
I think one of the challenges today then is that you're coming with this really grounded, sensible information. And there's so much noise out there. It's like people jump from one thing to the next thing. They need to have like that moment like you where you see this thing and your course can really do this for people and go, wow, this can be it. And we were talking about early on camera, but it's not something that you do for 6 weeks, 12 weeks as a physique transformation necessarily. This is something that you might want to do effectively for the rest of your life.
Well, yeah, I mean, when it comes to fitness and diet, for most people, it's a means to an end. They have an end result, and once they get there, they can go back to what they were doing before they got them there. That's illogical. That's borderline ridiculous. I mean, if you're going to spend the time dieting and exercising, getting to your desired physique, you're going to have to continue that lifestyle to keep it. Because what you're doing in the past is what got you to what you didn't want. Your relatively poor physique and an unhealthy body. So again, it's like the suntan. If you are on some sort of tanning regimen in order to darken your skin, how are you going to keep that? You need consistent exposure in order to keep those adaptations in place.
Who's the course for, Jay?
The course is for anybody looking to optimize aesthetically their physique, of course. So believe it or not, though, my approach is not far different from a traditional high-intensity training approach. I mean, I have my little snippets of perspective and opinion that I throw in there, but in general, there really is, no secret from what I do based to a traditional training protocol or high intensity training protocol. It's, any program, the point is to stimulate the body, stimulate the muscle. The improvements are going to happen. When it comes to aesthetics, it's going to be largely based on genetics and diet. And the fact of the matter is, stop trying to find different routes and different pathways and different programs and diets and supplements because what you're doing in the past didn't get you where you want to be. It's actually quite simple, but we need to keep realistic goals in mind. And I think that's the message here, because I think people think that it's the supplement or the training protocol that is responsible for the physique. Keep a realistic goal in mind and just consistently train, because the health benefits associated with it in the long term, they're undeniable.
That's a great, healthy, long-term perspective message, which I think counters a lot of a short-term attitude as well.
Right.
If somebody does have the genetic raw material to turn out like you, if they follow this program, your program in this course, can that get them there?
They'd already be here. That's the truth. They would have realized their almost 80 to 90% of their muscular development potential before they got to this point. So this is a great way for that person with those genetic predispositions to cut down on their gym time and have more time for important things in life. I think people they really overstress the importance of a good physique. I mean, yes, it's nice to have, but do we really need to give up the things that we're giving up? Time with family, sleep, food that we enjoy for the sake of looking good naked. I mean, sure, it's great, but it's really not all that important.
Starting a business?
Starting a business, yeah. There's so much other time to be devoted to other more important things, and you're gonna optimize and maximize your potential just with very, very minimal training. And if you are the individual with those predispositions, you're already looking the way you probably desire at this point anyway. So if they take on this type of protocol, basically it could be the way when I got into it too. I mean, they could be chronically overtrained. They may see a drastic jump or get over that plateau in terms of muscle growth and strength by reducing the volume and rest. But it's not that there's any secret in the protocol. Really, it's probably the fact that they've actually given their body some time to rest, repair, and actually adapt to the stimulus that they've been giving it.
Is there anybody, I understand you work with like a quite broad cross-section of people here at Biofit, people who come in through your door. Is there anybody you can think of, without necessarily naming names, that you really think like that meant a lot to you, the help that you were able to give to that person, the change you were able to instill for them?
Yeah. I have a lot of people who come in with chronic lower back pain, and it seems to be muscular in nature. So just simple overall body training, strengthening their body as a whole, and then focusing on the muscles of the low back through a lumbar extension machine. This low back pain is gone just within a few workouts, and it doesn't come back as long as they continue to stimulate. So in terms of having an achy lower back can really put a damper on your lifestyle. So a lot of these clients, it's a tremendous improvement in lifestyle and quality of life. And another particular individual, he has MS, and he lives in a wheelchair, an electric wheelchair. And when I first met him, he was atrophied, very weak, very slow, very tired. And just within about 3 to 4 weeks of training, he can get himself in and out of the chair very quickly, very safely. Because again, it is very dangerous. I mean, they have to move themselves. They have to get themselves in and out of the shower, things of that nature when they're living alone. It can be very dangerous. If they fall, they may not be able to get back up. I'm confident with him now that we've developed the muscular strength that if he falls, he's able to get back up. He's going to be fine. So that is a tremendous improvement in quality of life. With a chronic disorder like that, I think that can be really damaging to life.